The door creaked open just as I slipped off my shirt, the cool air of the dorm room brushing against my skin. I turned, expecting to see my roommate grabbing her keys, but there was Dahlia, my best friend since freshman year, frozen in the doorway, her eyes locked on me. Not in shock, but in something deeper, hungrier. And in that split second, instead of screaming or reaching for a towel, I stood there, letting her gaze trace every curve, every vulnerability, as if I'd been waiting for this moment all along. My heart pounded like a drum in my chest, each beat echoing the confusion swirling inside me. Dahlia and I had been inseparable for 2 years at UCLA, late-night study sessions turning into confessions about our dreams, our fears, our failed relationships with guys who never quite understood us. She was the one who held me when my high school boyfriend dumped me over text, whispering that I deserved better. But now, as her cheeks flushed and she stammered an apology, slamming the door shut behind her, I couldn't shake the electric thrill that had shot through me. Why hadn't I stopped her? Why did it feel like the air between us had suddenly ignited? I pulled on a sweater quickly, my mind racing. Alessia, what the hell is wrong with you? I thought, staring at my reflection in the mirror. You're straight, aren't you? You've dated boys, dreamed of that white picket fence life my parents always preached about. Dahlia was just Dahlia. Beautiful, confident Dahlia with her infectious laugh, and those eyes that seemed to see right through everyone. But as I replayed the moment, her stare wasn't accidental. It was deliberate, loaded with unspoken words. I sank onto my bed, burying my face in my hands. This couldn't be happening. Not now, not with her. Our friendship was the one stable thing in my chaotic life. Parents pressuring me to major in business instead of art, the constant feeling of not fitting in on this sprawling campus. If I let this crack widen, what would be left? Dahlia knocked softly a few minutes later, her voice muffled through the door. Alessia? Can I come in? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I opened the door, forcing a smile. It's fine. Really. Just forget it. But as she stepped inside, avoiding my eyes, the tension hung thick, unspoken accusations floating between us. We tried to act normal, diving into our usual routine of ordering pizza and binge-watching shows, but every brush of her arm against mine sent sparks. Inside, my thoughts screamed. What if this changes everything? What if I've always felt this way and just buried it? That night, as we lay in our separate beds across the room, I couldn't sleep. Dahlia's breathing was steady, but I knew she was awake too. The silence was deafening, filled with the weight of what we'd both seen, and what I'd allowed. By morning, we'd pretend it never happened. But the seed was planted, rooting deep into the soil of our friendship, ready to grow into something we couldn't control. Classes dragged on the next day, my mind elsewhere. In my psych lecture, the professor droned about repressed desires and societal norms, and I felt like he was speaking directly to me. Dahlia texted me during lunch. Meet at the quad? Got coffee? I hesitated, my thumb hovering over the reply. Part of me wanted to run, to transfer dorms or ghost her entirely. But another part, the one that had frozen in that doorway, craved the confrontation. We sat on the grass, sipping lattes, the California sun beating down. About yesterday, she started, her voice low. I shouldn't have stared. It's just, you're beautiful, Alessia. And sometimes I wonder. Wonder what? I snapped, sharper than intended. My pulse raced. Don't say it, I thought. Don't make this real. She looked away, twisting her cup. Nothing. Forget it. But her eyes betrayed her, filled with a longing that mirrored the chaos in my own heart. We changed the subject to midterms, but the damage was done. That evening, back in the dorm, the air crackled again. I caught myself watching her as she studied, the way her brow furrowed in concentration. Stop it, Alessia. This is wrong. Your family would disown you. Mom and Dad, with their church every Sunday, their lectures on traditional values, they'd see this as a betrayal. But as Dahlia glanced up and our eyes met, holding longer than friends should, I realized the battle had begun. Over the next week, the tension built like a storm. We'd laugh too hard at jokes, touch accidentally on purpose, then pull away guiltily. One night, after a party where we'd both drunk too much, she confessed in a whisper. I've felt this way for months. But I didn't want to ruin us. I didn't respond, my mind a whirlwind of fear and desire. What if I kiss her? What if I lose her? The choices loomed, each one a potential disaster. By the end of that week I made a decision, or rather let inaction decide for me. We were alone in the room, rain pattering against the window. Dahlia reached for my hand, her fingers trembling. "Alessia, tell me to stop." But I didn't. Instead I leaned in, our lips brushing in a tentative kiss that exploded everything I'd known. It was soft, electric, right in a way nothing else had been. But as we pulled apart, panic flooded me. What have I done? This isn't just about us. It's about families, friends, the world that won't understand. The kiss lingered in my thoughts like a ghost, haunting every moment. Dahlia acted as if it was the start of something beautiful, but I saw the cracks forming. My phone buzzed with a text from Mom. "Can't wait for you to come home for break. Bring that nice boy from your class." I deleted it, guilt gnawing at me. How could I face them? Dahlia's family was even stricter. Immigrants from a conservative background, expecting her to marry well, produce grandkids. We were playing with fire, and the burns were coming. As the days passed, our secret deepened. Stolen glances in class, whispered conversations in the dark. But the inner conflict raged. Is this love or just confusion? Am I betraying myself by hiding it? Dahlia seemed surer, but I saw the doubt in her eyes too. One afternoon we argued, our first real fight. "Why are you pulling away?" she demanded. "Because this scares me," I shouted back. "What if it's a mistake?" The words hung, a prophecy of the pain ahead. The argument echoed in my mind long after we'd made up. Our apologies tangled in another kiss that left me breathless and terrified. Dahlia's touch was addictive, pulling me into a world where nothing else mattered. But reality crashed in like waves on the shore. We were in love, or at least that's what it felt like, but the secrecy was suffocating. How long could we hide? I thought, lying awake as she slept beside me, her arm draped over my waist. The dorm walls felt thinner, as if everyone could hear our whispers. Spring break loomed, a forced separation that twisted my gut. "Come home with me," Dahlia suggested one evening, her eyes hopeful. "We can say you're just visiting as a friend." But I knew better. My parents in their suburban San Diego home, with Bible verses framed on the walls, would sense something off. Dahlia's family in Fresno, even more traditional, would grill us endlessly. "No," I said firmly. "It's too risky." Her face fell and guilt stabbed me. Am I protecting us or just myself? The drive home alone was agony, my thoughts a tornado. What if Mom asks about boys? What if I slip up? Pulling into the driveway, I plastered on a smile. "Alessia, you've lost weight. Studying too hard." Mom hugged me tight, Dad nodding approvingly. Dinner was the usual. Talks of church, neighbors' kids getting married. "When are you bringing home a nice young man?" Dad teased. I laughed it off, but inside I screamed. "This is a lie. All of it." Dahlia texted. "Miss you already," I replied with a heart emoji, then deleted the thread, paranoia gripping me. That night, in my childhood bed surrounded by posters of boy bands I'd once crushed on, the irony hit hard. Was that all fake? Or is this? The questions piled up, eroding my sense of self. Dahlia called the next day, her voice a lifeline. "How's it going?"
Fine I lead.
"But I wish you were here." We talked for hours, careful not to say too much, but the longing seeped through. Back at school, we'd reunite. But the break highlighted the chasm between our hidden world and the real one. Reuniting was fireworks. Dahlia waiting at the airport, pulling me into a hug that lingered too long for friends. In the car, she kissed me fiercely. "I can't do this apart thing," she murmured. But as summer approached, the pressure mounted. Internships, family expectations. Dahlia's parents wanted her home, helping with the family business. Mine expected me at church camp as a counselor. "We have to tell them eventually," she said one night, tracing patterns on my back.
No, y panica.
Not yet. The fear was visceral. Rejection, disownment, the label of sinner. Our first major conflict erupted over a party. Dahlia wanted to go as a couple, hold hands openly. Why hide? This is LA. People are accepting. But I balked. Not everyone. What if word gets back? The fight escalated, words like daggers. "You're ashamed of me," she accused. "Of us."
I'm scared.
I shot back. We didn't speak for days, the silence a void. Inside I wrestled. Is love worth the risk? Or am I too cowardly? Reconciliation came in tears. I can't lose you, I admitted, pulling her close. But the truce was fragile. Society's whispers infiltrated news stories of hate crimes, friends' casual homophobic jokes. One classmate sneered about those lesbians in the cafeteria, and I stayed silent, shame burning. Dahlia noticed, her eyes hardening. You didn't say anything. What could I say? But deep down I knew. I'm complicit in my own erasure. As months passed, the relationship deepened, but so did the cracks. Dahlia pushed for more openness. I clung to secrecy. One evening, she introduced me to her queer friends at a campus event. This is Alessia, my friend. The hesitation stung. Later, alone, she confessed. I want to shout it from the rooftops. But I couldn't. My family's voice echoed. Marriage is between man and woman. The moral dilemma tore at me. Was I defying God? Or just outdated norms? The turning point came during a family visit. Dahlia's cousin dropped by unexpectedly, catching us in a compromising embrace. Not explicit but intimate enough. What the hell? He barked, storming out. Panic ensued. He'll tell everyone, Dahlia fretted. We waited for the fallout, my mind racing with worst-case scenarios. Calls from her parents came flooding in. Is this true? You're confusing yourself. The accusations flew, brainwashed, phase sinful. Dahlia defended us tearfully, but the damage was done. Her family cut her off financially, forcing her to take extra shifts at her job. Watching her struggle broke me. This is the price, I thought. For love? Or for defiance? I offered to help, but she pushed back. This is on both of us. The guilt weighed heavy, amplifying my inner turmoil. Was coming out worth destroying her life? Or was hiding betraying her? The questions looped endlessly, as our bond strained under the pressure. By semester's end, we'd survived the initial blast, but scars remained. Dahlia grew distant. Her once vibrant spirit dimmed. I love you, but this is killing me, she said one night. I nodded, tears streaming. The choices we'd made or avoided were catching up, forcing us to confront the real cost of our love in a world that demanded conformity. The fallout from Dahlia's family rippled outward, infecting every corner of our lives. She moved out of the dorm temporarily, crashing with friends to think, leaving me alone with my regrets. Why didn't I stand up sooner? I thought, pacing the empty room. The silence mocked me, a reminder of the void her absence created. Texts were sparse. Need space. Each one twisted the knife deeper. Was this the end? Or just a pause before the real storm? I threw myself into classes, but focus eluded me. In art studio, my paintings turned dark, swirls of red and black, symbolizing the chaos inside. A professor noticed. This has passion, Alessia. What's fueling it? I shrugged, unable to voice the truth. Meanwhile, rumors spread on campus. Whispers in hallways. Dahlia's gay. And with her roommate. Friends approached cautiously. Is it true? One asked. I denied it vehemently, hating myself for the lie. But exposure terrified me, losing scholarships, facing judgment. Dahlia returned after a week, bags under her eyes. My parents want me to see a therapist. To fix this. Her voice cracked, and I held her as she sobbed. We're not broken, I whispered. But doubt crept in. Are we? Society screamed yes. Billboards for traditional family values. Politicians railing against the gay agenda. We decided to fight back quietly, attending a support group off campus. Their stories of rejection mirrored ours, but also tales of triumph. It gets better, a woman shared. Dahlia squeezed my hand, hope flickering. But for me, skepticism lingered. Does it really? The pressure from my side built subtly at first. A call from Mom. Heard from Dahlia? She's such a sweet girl. Innocuous but loaded. I changed the subject, heart racing. Then an unexpected visit. Dad showed up for a surprise weekend. Panic mode, hide evidence of us. Photos tucked away, Dahlia's clothes shoved in closets. We played the friend card masterfully, but tension simmered. Over dinner, Dad preached about moral decay in colleges. Stick to your values, Alessia.
He nodded, bile rising.
Inside. I'm drowning in hypocrisy. That night after he left, Dahlia exploded. How long are we pretending? Your family's next. The argument raged, accusations flying. You're not ready for this, she said. Maybe I'm not, I admitted, tears flowing. The admission hung a turning point. We made up, but resentment brewed. Dahlia started pulling away, spending more time with her new queer circle. People who lived openly. Jealousy gnawed at me. What if she finds someone braver? A betrayal loomed, subtle at first. I confided in a mutual friend, swearing her to secrecy. It's complicated, I said. But word got back to Dahlia twisted. Rumors I was denying our relationship publicly. You told her we're just experimenting, she confronted. No, that's not. But the damage was done. Trust fractured. I thought you were in this with me, she whispered, eyes filled with hurt. The pain was mutual. I've hurt her to protect myself. Is that love? Rebuilding was arduous. We talked for hours unpacking fears. Dahlia shared her childhood. Strict upbringing suppressed feelings. I knew I liked girls young but hid it. I confessed mine. Crushes on female celebrities dismissed as admiration. Maybe I've always known. The vulnerability bonded us, but external forces pressed. Her job suffered from stress. My grades slipped. Society's weight felt crushing. Protests against LGBTQ rights on the news, reminding us of the battle. Then the ultimate test. A family gathering for my birthday. Dahlia insisted on coming. As your girlfriend. Terror gripped me. They'll freak. But she stood firm. Or we end this. The ultimatum stung, forcing a choice. I agreed, dreadpooling. At the party, tensions peaked. Introductions. This is Dahlia, my partner. Silence descended. Mom's face paled, Dad's reddened. What do you mean? He thundered. The confrontation erupted. Yells about sin, disappointment. You're confused. Mom cried. I defended us tearfully. This is who I am. But the words felt hollow, rehearsed. Dahlia held my hand strong, but I saw her tremble. The aftermath was brutal. Parents stormed out, calls ceased. Isolation hit hard. Was it worth it? I asked Dahlia later, sobbing. For us? Yes. But doubt festered. Friends divided, some supportive, others distant. One said, I can't condone this. The moral quandary deepened. Am I right to choose love over family? Or selfish? As we navigated the wreckage, our bond tested like never before. Dahlia's family softened slightly, a tentative olive branch. Mine remained silent. The sacrifices mounted. Lost relationships, emotional toll. But in quiet moments her love felt like salvation. Yet the inner voice persisted. At what cost? The drama intensified, choices leading to more pain. As we braced for the next wave. The silence from my family stretched like an endless chasm. Each unanswered call a fresh wound. Dahlia tried to console me. Give them time. But time felt like an enemy eroding my resolve. What if they never come around? I thought, staring at old family photos. The girl in them, straight a student, obedient daughter, seemed a stranger. Now I was the outcast paying the price for authenticity. Dahlia's presence was my anchor, but even that wavered under the strain. Campus life shifted too. Supportive friends rallied, but others faded. A professor pulled me aside. I see you're struggling. Resources are available. I nodded gratefully, but pride held me back. Dahlia thrived in her community, attending pride events, advocating. Join me, she urged. I did once, the rainbow flags vibrant, but anxiety overwhelmed. I'm not ready for parades, I confessed. Her disappointment was palpable. Then when? The rift widened, our differences stark. She was bold, I was cautious. Love versus fear. A constant battle. A new conflict arose. Dahlia's ex, a guy from high school, resurfaced. Just friends, she assured, but his texts were frequent. Jealousy flared. Why entertain him? I demanded. Because he's supportive, unlike some. The jab hurt, revealing underlying resentments. We argued fiercely, doors slamming. Inside. Am I pushing her away? The thought terrified, but pride won. Days of cold shoulder followed, each one a test of will. Reconciliation came via a heartfelt letter from Dahlia. I choose you always. We met at our favorite coffee shop, tears mixing with apologies. I fear losing you to the world, I admitted. She nodded. And I fear you'll never fully choose me. The vulnerability exposed our cores, damaged yet hopeful. But society intruded again. A campus scandal involving a queer student assaulted. Fear spiked. We have to be careful, I said. Dahlia rolled her eyes. Hiding isn't living. The moral divide deepened. Was caution wisdom or cowardice? Summer brought forced proximity. With funding cut, Dahlia couldn't afford her place, so she stayed with me in a sublet. Intimacy intensified, but so did clashes. One night, over dinner, she proposed. Move in together next year. Come out fully. Panic surged. And if my family disowns me forever? Then we build our own. Her certainty clashed with my doubt. The decision loomed, a fork in the road. Choose her, lose them? Or vice versa? The breaking point hit during a heated call with my mom, who finally answered. This phase ends now. Come home, get help. Rage boiled. It's not a phase. I love her. The line went dead, disownment implied. Devastated, I turned to Dahlia, but she was out, with her ex, as I discovered via social media. Betrayal stabbed deep. What the hell? I confronted upon her return. Just talking. You push me away. The fight escalated to screams, objects thrown. Maybe we're toxic, she spat. The words echoed a potential truth. In the aftermath, we separated briefly. I crashed with a friend, reflecting. Have my fears poisoned us? Dahlia messaged. I need you, but not like this. The pain was excruciating, forcing self-examination. Therapy helped unpacking internalized homophobia, family trauma. You're worthy of love, the counselor said. Slowly, clarity emerged. Hiding hurts more than facing. We reunited tentatively, promises made. I'll try harder, I vowed. Dahlia softened. Me too. But trust was fragile. A social event tested us, introducing her as my girlfriend publicly. Nerves frayed, but pride swelled as friends cheered. Small victories amid the war. Yet, Dahlia's family pressured her to reconsider, offering reconciliation if she straightened out. Temptation flickered in her eyes. Would you? I asked fearfully. No, she said, but hesitation lingered. The ethical dilemma. Family loyalty versus self? As fall semester began, tensions peaked. A mutual friend's wedding invited us as a couple. Go without me, I suggested, cowardice rearing. Dahlia refused. Together or not at all. The standoff forced confrontation. I'm scared, but I choose you, I declared. At the event, whispers followed, but we danced defiantly. Empowerment surged, but backlash awaited. Disapproving glares, a relative snide remark. The real betrayal came unexpectedly. Dahlia confessed. I kissed my ex. Once. I was confused. The world shattered. Why? I choked. Because you hesitate. He doesn't judge. Pain morphed to anger. So you cheat. The argument destroyed us, trust obliterated. I need time, she said, leaving. Alone, I crumbled. Was this inevitable? My choices led here. Half commitments breeding resentment. The cost. A broken heart, lost love. But in the ruins, awakening dawned. Maybe I deserved better, full acceptance from myself first. Isolation enveloped me like a shroud after Dahlia left, the apartment echoing with memories of us. Why did I hold back so long? I thought, replaying every hesitation. The betrayal stung deepest. Not the kiss, but the doubt it revealed. We were both victims of our fears, society's chains binding us. Friends offered solace. You deserve honesty. But self-doubt persisted. Am I unlovable as I am? Weeks blurred into therapy sessions, unpacking layers. Your family's rejection isn't about you, the counselor affirmed. Slowly, I reached out, letters to parents pleading understanding. Responses were cold. Pray for guidance. Frustration mounted, but resolve grew. No more hiding. I joined a campus LGBTQ group, sharing my story tentatively. Support flooded, easing the ache. Dahlia? Radio silence, her social media dark. Rumors. Back with her ex, jealousy faded to sorrow. We could have been great if braver. A chance encounter reignited the flame. At a protest for queer rights, there she was, chanting passionate. Our eyes met across the crowd, time freezing. Alessia, she breathed, approaching. Can we talk? Coffee turned to hours of raw honesty. I messed up. Fear drove me. Me too, I admitted.
Tears flowed, forgiveness tentative.
But can we rebuild? The question hung loaded with history. Reconciliation was rocky. Trust rebuilt brick by brick. Open talks, boundaries set. Society's pressures persisted. Job interviews questioning lifestyle. Family holidays alone. Dahlia's parents thawed minimally, mine remained distant. We chose each other daily despite costs. Lost inheritances strained friendships. Moral debates raged internally. Is compromise weakness? Or survival? High drama peaked at a family reunion Dahlia dragged me to. Her relatives grilled. This a phase? We stood united. No. It's love. Arguments erupted. Uncles preaching damnation. Dahlia's mom defended faintly. Let her be. A small win but exhausting. Driving home exhaustion hit. Worth it. For you, yes. But doubts whispered. At what price our sanity? Our bond strengthened through trials but scars reminded. One night, vulnerability peaked. I almost left for good, Dahlia confessed. What stopped you? Realizing life's empty without you. The admission healed but warned, love's fragility. We advocated more volunteering, inspiring others. Personal growth bloomed. I switched majors to art therapy, embracing passion. Dahlia pursued activism. Her fire reignited. Yet the ultimate test. My parents' olive branch, a tense dinner. We miss you, Mom said stiffly. Dad added. But this. Choice. Defiance rose. It's not a choice. It's me. Tears, hugs, fragile mending. Not full acceptance but a start. Dahlia waited outside our rock. Proud of you, she whispered. The evening symbolized progress, but highlighted ongoing battles. As years edged on, graduation looming, we face future forks. Jobs in conservative areas? Or progressive cities? Together anywhere, we vowed. But reality bit. Discrimination in housing, healthcare. Ethical quandaries. Hide for safety or fight openly. We chose the latter, paying dearly, protests turning violent, online harassment. Resilience grew, love our shield. In quiet moments, reflection deepened. We've lost much, innocence, relationships, but gained self. Dahlia's eyes, once haunted, now sparkled with purpose. Mine too. The journey's toll. Emotional wreckage but awakening profound. Society evolves slowly but we persist. The story closes not in fairy tale bliss but real grit. We've chosen love amid chaos, paying the price willingly. But was hiding ever an option or just delayed pain? In the end, our decisions define us, scars and all. Was Alessia's initial hesitation a betrayal of their love, or a necessary shield against a hostile world?